You know that friend who always cancels plans at the very last minute? The one who's suddenly sick or too tired or promises to come next time. Society labels them as boring, lazy, or antisocial, but society is dead wrong. If you genuinely get more excited about putting on pajamas on a Friday night than walking into a crowded bar, welcome to the elite minority. Most people think staying home means you're missing out on life, but with hyperstimulation and social expectations running at an all-time high, that forced socializing is actually burning out your brain and draining your wallet. Today, we're going to completely dismantle the extrovert myth. We'll show you exactly why refusing to go out isn't a weakness. It can actually function as a protective response from your nervous system. Let's look directly at the biological data. A fascinating theory recently shared in the psychology space suggests that introverts simply have a smaller social battery. But the real science behind this phenomenon goes much deeper than just getting tired. It comes down to a physiological mechanism called the reticular activating system, or RAS. Your RAS is the vital filter in your brain that processes incoming stimuli from the outside world. For some people, this filter may be more selective, leading them to seek higher levels of stimulation. They often enjoy louder, more dynamic environments to feel engaged. They may naturally seek stronger stimulation to feel the same level of reward. But if you're someone who loves staying home, your brain may be more sensitive to incoming stimuli. You absorb absolutely everything in your environment. The flickering neon sign, the overlapping background conversations, the unpredictable mood shifts of a total stranger. It all floods your nervous system instantly and simultaneously. When you're sitting in a loud restaurant making forced small talk with people who don't actually care about your answers, your brain's CPU is running at maximum capacity. Psychologists formally call this the optimal arousal theory. You don't need the outside world to entertain you because your internal baseline of cognitive activity is already rich and fully active. Every single social interaction, even an incredibly fun and engaging one, acts like a heavy background application, quietly draining your mental battery. So when you cancel those Friday plans, you aren't avoiding your friends. You're actively protecting your biological hardware from a catastrophic system crash. Now, let's examine the psychological currency of control. Out there in the modern world, everything is unpredictable and designed to extract your energy. You can't control the weather, the traffic, the inflated prices, or the volatile energy of the crowd. You're completely at the mercy of economic and social chaos. But the exact moment you lock your front door, you become the absolute architect of your reality. You completely control the lighting, the temperature, the volume, and the visual aesthetic. For people with highly sensitive nervous systems, this level of environmental control is never a luxury. It can feel essential for maintaining psychological balance. This is exactly where the magic of the default mode network, or DMN, comes into play. When you're constantly distracted by external noise and social obligations, your brain stays trapped in a shallow, reactive state. But when you sit in the quiet isolation of your own home, completely disconnected from external demands, your DMN fully activates. This network is often associated with introspection, self-referential thinking, and internal processing. That deep thought spiral you fall into at 2 in the morning while staring silently at the ceiling, that's your brain connecting abstract dots that a crowded room would never allow you to see. Some research suggests that people who embrace solitude are significantly more creative and can become more self-aware than those who constantly seek crowds. Furthermore, we must address the massive hidden financial cost of the extrovert lifestyle. The modern economy often benefits from constant activity and consumption. The average American easily burns through $150 on a single Friday night out. You pay the premium for the rideshare, the overpriced drinks, the mandatory tips, and the late-night meals. You're paying a massive social tax just to prove you're participating in society. By actively choosing your couch over the club, you're violently defending your net worth. You're keeping thousands of dollars in your investment accounts every single year simply by mastering the rare art of staying still. The culture of constant hustle, endless networking, and living your best life on social media is a trap. It can feel like a system that constantly pushes you to stay busy, distracted, and spending money. They want you out there consuming because your boredom is their profit. But we need to draw a very sharp, definitive line right here. There's a massive psychological difference between a refuge and a cage. If you're staying home because the mere thought of facing the outside world paralyzes you with severe anxiety, that isn't a strategic advantage. That's hiding, and it requires immediate professional attention and support. But if you stay home because your quiet living room fills you up with genuine peace and clarity, then you've mastered a high-level game that most of society is currently losing. Strategic solitude can be a powerful advantage in the modern world. When you confidently say no to a meaningless invitation, you're saying yes to your own peace and focus. You're taking back the absolute ownership of your time, your focus, and your financial freedom. So the very next time you feel even a slight hint of guilt for choosing a quiet weekend entirely alone, drop that guilt immediately. So here's the real question. If you're choosing solitude, what are you building with it? Because silence can either make you stagnant or it can make you highly effective. The difference is what you do next. If you're going to stay in, then use that time to learn, to think, to create, and to build something that the outside world can't ignore. Otherwise, it's not peace, it's just comfortable avoidance.